So this video is about our travels from Sen down to ZADAR, but really it's a story about how plans don't always work out. We did have a plan, and we woke up in Sen and we thought we'd just go to a lovely campsite down the road. It's got great reviews, the pictures look good, and we thought we'd just hole up there for a couple of days before heading down to ZADAR. So we headed down the road, and as we got closer to the campground we saw a bulldozer, we saw some heavy machinery, we saw piles of dirt. Didn't look that great, and sure enough it was undergoing some major construction. So plan A wasn't going to work out, we needed another plan.
So we then had to come up with plan B. Plan B was pretty straightforward. Neil found a campsite in the Axie book which was sort of north of ZADAR. I dutifully put in the GPS coordinates for it and we set off for a really lovely drive along the coast. Quite impressive roads along the Croatian coastline. We are driving to ZADAR. We were going to stay at another campsite just outside of Sen, but it was closed for renovation, so we decided simply to push on. Really rocky landscapes along here, nothing like the sort of things we're used to at home. Some magnificent views of the sea and the islands, but I can't really show you those because we've got the same issue we had in Nice, and we've got Neil's head in the way again. However, when we got to our destination, it turned out to be a dirt road. And we had noticed some signage saying that we had actually gone past ZADAR, which was not our intention. So we got the book out again, we looked at the coordinates again. Wouldn't you know it, I'd put the wrong ones in and we'd overshot the campsite by 60 kilometres. Oops.
It's hard for me to say I'm sorry.
Plan B didn't work out, but it wasn't the end of the world. We were near ZADAR, so we thought we would find a campsite that we could then just hole up for and go into the old city, check that out, and that was okay. That would help repair the relationship, should we say, between the navigator and the driver. So, first campsite, unfortunately, it was just a grass lawn. There were no facilities, it was out of town, and it was rather expensive. So we thought, we'll be smart, we'll go on to the next campsite. This campsite involved travelling through ZADAR city itself in the middle of the day, heavy traffic, a bit frustrating, stop-start. And when we got to the campground, would you believe it? The gates were locked, the grass was this high, nobody was there, and clearly they weren't in business anymore. Yes, it didn't help the atmosphere much, that. Anyway, we had one more opportunity near ZADAR. We're a little campsite, a bit like an air, and we thought we'd head for that. But unfortunately, that too didn't turn out to be what we thought.
To about 3 or 4 campsites. One was really expensive and was just someone's front lawn, and the others were all closed. And this here is an example of one that we found on the internet that said it had a pool and all sorts of things, but is essentially, it really is just like an air, but it's out of the city and there's no transport links in, and parking actually is a problem here.
And actually the facilities aren't hooked up, so
yeah, and the facilities don't actually work. In saying that, there are heaps of awesome campsites here in Croatia because we drove past a whole lot of them on our way here. So we're actually going to give ZADAR a miss and backtrack, because our first impressions of Croatia have all been really, really good. Today just hasn't gone as we had planned. So by this time we had been through plans A, B and C, and things were getting pretty darn testy.
You lost that love feeling. Oh, that love feeling. You lost that love feeling. Now it's gone, gone, gone. Whoa.
So navigator and driver weren't really talking to each other. You could really cut the tension with a knife, so we had to quickly figure out what was going to be our best plan. And our best plan was to go back to plan B and go back to the campsite. So a 60-kilometre drive, and we ended up here, and this place is really lovely. We're under the pine trees, we've got the water behind us. The young guy who's running this place was really friendly, so all in all it wasn't such a bad day, apart from the fact that we didn't actually get to see ZADAR. So anyone who's been there, and particularly those who've seen the sea organ, let me know what it's like, because that was what I really wanted to see.